That's what I looked like when I was 17 years old. The launches were equipped with echo sounding gear managed by a professional hydrographic survey engineer. I operated and looked after the engine in the launch. The launch was steered by a coxswain, and when he rang the bell in my engine, in the air, I would respond. One ring was forward slow speed, two rings was forward fast speed, and 3 rings was reverse. We arrived at the southern area of the Seymour Narrows in the June of 1944. We dropped the anchor outside the Narrows and lowered the launches to begin about 3 weeks of surveying Ripple Rock. We could only spend about 2 hours a day in the Narrows because of the fast-moving torrent caused by the tides coming in and out of the Narrows. Our next move was to head for Powell River for supplies. We spent 3 days there, then set sail north again for Prince Rupert. The rule at Seymour Narrows was that a southbound ship had to blow their boat whistle to let the northbound boats wait until they were through the Narrows. Because with Ripple Rock in the Narrows, only one ship at a time could pass through. Well, guess what happened? The southbound ship, the passenger ship, did not blow, and we were already in the Narrows, so we took the area where the rock was. What do you think happened? Right? We hit the rock. The captain, I think, did the right thing by running the ship into a beach at Plummer's Bay. The next thing I knew, we had abandoned ship, lowering the launches, lifeboats, and getting as much of the engineering and survey equipment, maps, charts, off the ship that we could, and watch the tide come in so that all was sticking out of the water was the 2 masts. We spent the night on the beach before the rescue craft arrived the next morning. There's a picture of the ship. As the launch driver, the coxswain and I drove our launch, accompanied the other 3 launches back to the home base of Victoria. I was then given a month's leave. When I returned from the leave, and while I was away, they salvaged the ship, and it was back in Victoria. However, I was discharged because the ship required a major refit. I tried to join the Navy, but they were not recruiting then, so I joined the Army. Now, 62 years later, 2006, I heard that the ship was being used as a restaurant, and on the west coast of Vancouver Island. I mentioned it to my daughter-in-law, who mentioned to her parents who live in Victoria. I said the name of the ship was the William J. Stewart. They looked it up on the internet and found that the new owners, Oak Bay Marina, had renamed the ship the Canadian Princess, and it was permanently docked at Euclid on the west coast of Vancouver Island and used as a depot for sports fishing. My daughter decided to visit it in 2007 and brought me a t-shirt with a picture of the ship on the front and some history statements on the back. I told her that she'd walked on the same decks that I walked in 1944. I was able to take a trip to see the ship in 2009, and I was surprised how good a shape it was in. And here are some pictures of me taking in the ship. And here's the ship as it sits now. And there's the t-shirt.